Fate. Valeric is a boy born into a world where skills determine one's destiny. He is cursed with the unique skill of gluttony, which allows him to consume anything he eats, including the skills of others. However, his skill comes with a terrible curse. If he doesn't eat regularly, he goes berserk and attacks anyone in sight. Fate has been abused and neglected his entire life because of his skill. He is treated like a slave by the Valeric family, and he is constantly hungry. One day, Fate is tasked with guarding the Valeric carriage. While they are away on a trip, a group of bandits attacks the carriage, and Fate is forced to fight them off. In the process, he accidentally consumes the skill of one of the bandits. Appraisal. Appraisal allows Fate to see the skills and stats of others. This is a very powerful skill, and it gives Fate a significant advantage in battle. However, it also makes him more dangerous, as he is now more likely to target others for their skills. After defeating the bandits, Fate decides to leave the Valeric family and travel the world on his own. He wants to learn how to control his hunger and use his skills of gluttony for good. Fate is discovered by Roxy Hart, the daughter of a powerful noble family. Roxy is impressed by Fate's skills and potential, and she offers him a job working for the House of Hart. Fate accepts Roxy's offer, and he begins training to become a skilled swordsman and adventurer. Fate quickly makes a name for himself as a skilled fighter. He uses his skills of gluttony and appraisal to help the House of Hart complete dangerous missions and defeat powerful enemies. However, Fate's hunger also begins to grow stronger. He must constantly eat to stay sane, and he is forced to consume the skills of criminals and monsters on a regular basis. One day, Fate is tasked with escorting a group of merchants through a dangerous forest. The group is attacked by a powerful monster, and Fate is forced to fight it alone. Fate consumes the monster's skills to make himself stronger, but he is still not powerful enough to defeat it. Fate goes berserk and attacks the monster with all his might. He is able to defeat the monster, but he also loses control of himself and attacks the merchants. Roxy and the other members of the House of Hart arrive and are able to subdue Fate before he hurts anyone else. Fate is devastated by what happened. He realizes that he is a danger to himself and others if he can't control his hunger. He decides to leave the House of Hart and travel the world in search of a way to cure himself of his curse. On his travels, Fate meets a mysterious swordsman named Greed. Greed tells Fate that he is a skill eater, a being that can consume the skills of others. Greed offers to teach Fate how to control his hunger and use his skills of gluttony more effectively. Fate accepts Greed's offer, and he begins training under him. Greed teaches Fate how to control his hunger and how to use his skills of gluttony more effectively. Fate also learns how to communicate with Greed, who is now sealed inside his sword. Fate and Greed travel the world together, fighting criminals, monsters, and other powerful enemies. Fate uses his skills of gluttony to consume the skills of his enemies, making himself stronger and more powerful with each passing day. Fate and Greed eventually return to the House of Hart. Fate is determined to prove to Roxy and the others that he can control his hunger and use his skills of gluttony for good. Fate and Greed are tasked with investigating a series of mysterious murders that have been happening in the kingdom. The murders are being committed by a group of assassins who are using powerful skills to kill their victims. Fate and Greed are able to track down the assassins and defeat them. However, Fate is forced to consume the skills of one of the assassins in order to defeat him. This causes Fate to go berserk again, but he is able to control his rage this time. Roxy and the other members of the House of Hart are impressed by Fate's progress. They realize that he has finally learned to control his hunger and use his skills of gluttony for good. Fate and Greed continue to travel the world together, fighting criminals, monsters, and other powerful enemies. Fate uses his skills